Welcome back to the Boot Tragedies. Like it, love it, or hate it, the New Orleans Saints, Dennis Allen, Mickey Loomis have made their decision on their quarterback of the future, and that will be Derek Carr. Derek Carr, coming from the Raiders, will sign with the Saints a 4-year deal. The number hasn't come out yet on how much it will be per season, but Derek Carr will be the next quarterback of the Saints. The Saints have already came out and said he is the quarterback of the future. It isn't going to be a 1-year rental type deal. He's going to be the quarterback, for the foreseeable future for the Saints. Now, like I said, like it, love it, or hate it, that's just what the case is going to be now. Derek Carr is our quarterback. Hey, I wish Derek Carr nothing but the best. Now, let's kind of talk about, how these things transpired over the last couple of days. If you watched any of my videos, I said during the draft process, during the combine process, this was going to be the most likely time for this to happen, just because you're looking at all the quarterbacks at the draft. You're going to evaluate them a little bit more. Free agency is about to come up, so you want to get this domino out the way, especially with that being a quarterback. So a report came out that the Jets and Carolina were actually leading the way in the Derek Carr sweepstakes, and I think maybe that was just smoke and mirrors from Derek Carr camp to try to raise the number up from the Saints. Whatever it was, the Saints said, nope, not on our watch. We want this quarterback. We'll do whatever it takes to get this quarterback. And now they have this quarterback. We have this quarterback. Derek Carr will be the quarterback of the Saints. Now, we can take a look at some of his numbers just over his career. Let's just do that. Let's jump straight into these numbers. We can start with the record, but I think a record for a quarterback is very idiotic. 63-79, you can't put that on him. He's played 142 games in his career. He played for the Raiders in 2014 when they weren't good. They were not good whatsoever. But he has put some good seasons together at the quarterback position. He has a 12-3 season under his belt, a 10-7 season under his belt. So he did put a couple good seasons together with the Raiders. But let's talk about his numbers. He's a 64% career completion percentage. That's okay. That's okay. Not mad at that. That's a little above average. Just look at his yardage per season. First year, 3,200 yards as a rookie, 3,900, 3,900, 3,400, 4,000, 4,000, 4,100. Last year, well, not last year, 2 years ago now, 4,800, and last year, 3,500. But he did miss the last two games, so he was on pace for about 4,000 right there. Interceptions, 12, 13, 6, 13, 10, 8, 9, 14, 14. Got to get those interception numbers down. I would like those numbers to be under 10. Right around 10, it's 17 games now. That's under 1 a game. Yeah, quarterbacks are going to throw interceptions. You just got to live with it. He's going to have to get those interception numbers down. I'll watch all the film. That's one thing y'all know. I'll watch all the film. I'm going to watch every last game he played last season, all 15 of them. I'm definitely going to watch it to see how he fell to, a career low in completion percentage from his rookie season to now. To 60.8%, only threw for 3,500 yards, 24 touchdowns, and 14 interceptions. That's what's alarming to me. Back-to-back seasons at 14 interceptions, that's definitely alarming. That's definitely alarming. But you look at his 2016 season, man. They went 12-3. He threw for 4,000 yards, 28 touchdowns, only 6 interceptions. Finished third in the MVP voting, All-Pro, Pro Bowler. That's just finished top in Offensive Player of the Year voting. That guy, it's in there somewhere. That guy's in there somewhere. Obviously, got a new coach this year. Got Devontae Adams. Had a playoff team surrounding him. They went 6-9 when he was a starting quarterback. So, obviously, something didn't connect. They were ready to move on from him. He's only 31 years old. So, that's peak play for him. It's going to be peak play for him. The Saints, obviously, they did their homework. You're not just going to sign a quarterback to a 4-year deal, a big deal, without doing your homework on him. If you want to compare him to any quarterback on our roster, you look at Andy Dalton. Andy Dalton's been in this league a long time, and he's not put the production up as Derek Carr. So if you're telling me I got to choose between Andy Dalton and Derek Carr, this is an easy scenario for me. You give me Derek Carr a million times out of a million. A million times out of a million, I'll take Derek Carr. Let's face the facts. It is what it is. You can debate that you think Jameis Winston's better than Derek Carr. I do not believe that. You can debate if Andy Dalton had a better season than Derek Carr last year. I do not believe that as well. I think Derek Carr is a clear, better quarterback than those two guys. I'm not saying he's elite by any stretch of the imagination, but he's a good quarterback. I would think you would find a hard time finding 15 quarterbacks better than Derek Carr today in the world. That's just my opinion. You can't find 15 guys better than them. And with the Saints defense, man, how elite the Saints defense played last year, even though we had, struggles in the run game and defending the run game, how elite they played last season. On top of, we got Elvin Kamara. We got a pretty good offensive line. I know, we complain about the offensive line sometimes, but if you look at offensive lines around the NFL, man, we should not complain if we're being honest. It's still one of the best groups in the NFL. We need Trevor Penning to come along and things like that. You have a good rookie receiver in Chris Olave and Rashid Shaheed that just came back. Maybe we're going to add another guy. Maybe Michael Thomas stays now. Who knows what's going to happen now that Derek Carr. This is the first big domino to fall. It's going to be big dominoes after this. You still got Davenport. You still got Anyamata. Obviously, I mentioned Michael Thomas. You got some restructures that's happening. It's going to be very, very interesting the way the Saints, navigate this cap, navigate the players on the team, and let's just see what happens. But it was evident that the Saints wanted the franchise quarterback, or a quarterback that, resembles a franchise quarterback. Look at last offseason. With everything going around with Deshaun Watson, the Saints were still all in basically on Deshaun Watson, willing to give up multiple first-round picks, a big, sum of money in a contract with a guy with all of those things, on his name, on his jacket. Obviously, it didn't happen. He ended up going to the Browns, but the Saints were in that. The Saints were in that running. So obviously a quarterback position is important to them, but that's not saying anything special. Quarterback's important to everybody. But they obviously want the franchise guy with, going to do whatever it takes to get one. The draft obviously probably wasn't going to be an option just because you're picking at 29, and get up into that top 10 was going to be absolutely hell to pay. You're going to have to give up multiple first rounders, and it's a crapshoot. You don't know what you're getting out of these quarterbacks. It's a draft every reason for, it's a draft every year for a reason. I say this all the time. It's a draft every year for a reason. It's much easier to miss out if you miss out on a receiver, you miss out on a running back, you miss out on an offensive guard, a DB. It's very good to miss on, not good to miss on those players, but you have a better chance of succeeding if you miss on those players. If you give up a bunch of first round picks for a quarterback that doesn't pan out to be anything, that's going to set your franchise back. I mean, look at the Jets. They've been trying to pick quarterbacks every year. Jury's still out on Justin Fields. I think he could be a very good quarterback, but look at that. I mean, it's situations where if you pick a quarterback early and it doesn't work, your team is going to be very, very bad. Very, very bad. I mean, look at the 49ers. They have a very, very good team, but they traded a bunch of first-round picks to move up and get Trey Lance, and Brock Purdy ended up, running that offense better than Trey Lance did for the first 2 games. So quarterback, you just never know how it's going to play out when they hit the system. The Saints got Derek Carr, and we'll see what happens. I'm going to watch every single game that Derek Carr played in before I give an honest opinion. My honest opinion right now is I think he's a top 15 quarterback. He's between the 12 to 15 range, if I had to guess, not looking at the list in front of me. I think he's somewhere in there. I think he's somewhere in there in like the Dak range of the, Dak Prescott's, the Kirk Cousins, and things like that. That is pretty good quarterbacks, not elite, not average, just above average to good quarterbacks. And for the Saints, that may be all we need. Look at the division. He's easily the best quarterback in the NFC South right now. You telling me I got Kyle Trask and company, Desmond Ridder and company? Like, come on, let's get serious. At the end of the day, Mickey Loomis, Dennis Allen, the Saints brass, the Saints organization had a clear path to a quarterback, and this is their guy. This will be the first guy that they think can replace Drew Brees as a full-time starter, as the guy that has the control to the franchise. So we'll see what happens, man. I'm going to be very interested to see what I see on game film, because the eye in the sky don't lie. The eye in the sky will not lie when it comes to Derek Carr. Let's see how good he is. Let's see how bad he is. Let's see how average he is. I'm going to go with an open mind. No bias. I'm going to give it up. I'm going to tell you the truth. That's one thing I will do. I will tell you the truth, and we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with Derek Carr. I'm going to turn this film on probably as soon as I get done with this video, man. But let me know what y'all think in the comments. Quick thoughts on Derek Carr in the comments below, man. As always, man, thank y'all for tuning in once again. It's the Boo Tragedies, and I'm out.